I am uber excited to follow Caroline because she could not have teed up this speech any better, so thank you very much. I would like to begin this speech by reading a post that was uploaded to social media. The phrase, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me," is wrong. Words are the most painful thing a person can endure. Kids commit suicide every 17 minutes from bullying. For all of those who have been made fun of, or almost been pushed to the breaking point, or at the edge of their breaking point, please, I can't stress enough. Please, 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 remember, you are loved. I love you. Your skin isn't paper. Don't cut it. Your face isn't a mask. Don't hide it. Your life is not a film, so do not end it. I get that they tell you to be yourself and then they judge you, but it's only because they're jealous of you. I know I'm not the nicest person all of the time, but I get it now. Suicide is real. So, together, let's put an end to it. Thank you for reading Chandler Degenhart. I made it through that. The author of this post is my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter. And when I read this post, because every night at 8 o'clock she turns in her cell phone, and I enjoy going through it. And to, like Caroline, it is an art to be able to decode what it is that's going on. But this particular post really just sent all sorts of mixed messages. I was thinking, what have I missed? Why would she be writing a post like this? Is she being bullied? Is she at 13 years old in the 8th grade having her friends come up to her saying they can't take it anymore? This really opened up my eyes and awareness, and I started having deeper conversations with my daughters, with my friends, and with my family. And I am certain, after reading this post, that several of Chandler's followers did the same, all 1,362 followers. I'm not very good at math, but I'm 23 years older than my daughter Chandler, and I do not even know 1,362 people. And I asked Chandler, and she reassured me not to worry, because having 1,362 followers is not a lot. Most of her friends have over 5,000, and one of her friends has over 19,000 friends. Followers, I shouldn't even call them friends, followers. In this generation, Facebook is the old people account, so I totally recognize that. And it's a lot about the Instagram and the Snapchat and the Kick. And going through this and just realizing where the disconnect was, and rereading this post over and over again. A child dies every 17 minutes. This cannot be right. So I decided to do some research. Typed in www.cyberbullying.com. What I thought would be a quick answer to my question turned into hours and days of reading material, which ultimately led me to standing in front of all of you with my seventh speech. I was overwhelmed with the research that was performed by Pew Research Center that dissected age groups and identified timelines and really put this into reality. You see, social media does not have a cap on its followers. And the kids that are trying to get out there and make these selfies and get this attention, they don't realize who's on the other end of that. There's no limit to how many followers you can have on these media sites. So instantaneously, we are now challenged with volume versus substance, attention versus judgment. I'd like to share with you just a few results that I found uberly alarming. When you think about trying to connect with teenagers, it is a lot more challenging, especially with technology, considering 95% of teens communicate with peers online. 95%. 88% in this report said that they had witnessed cyberbullying. They had seen negative posts on people's walls. 1 in 4 had admitted to having it happen to them more than once. Kids between the age of 8 and 17-year-olds are spending an average of 45 hours a week online. 45 hours. I don't know about some of you out there, but that's considered 5 hours of overtime at my work. In this report, it further says that those kids that spend 3 hours per day have 110% greater chance of being bullied. 110%. Suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death in teenage kids. However, only 1 out of 10 actually report bullying to their parents. Kids are literally being humiliated to death. I read an article in Psychology Today that outlined that recent studies have shown that humiliation has now been reported as the most intense emotion one person can feel. Humiliation supersedes the feeling that you get from love, happiness, and anger. What can we do? Is there a magic number of followers that you could have online? Is 1,362 a realistic number? As adults in this room, how can we connect to the 95% of people that are online that only really know that way of communication? How do we reach them? So I turn to you, Toastmasters and guests, and I ask you, will you stand with me? Will you choose to be an upstander versus a bystander? Will you take the time to commit yourself and educate yourself on what these social media sites are? What is Snapchat? What is Kik? Will you do that? In closing, in preparation for my next speech, I would like to leave you with 2 numbers that I will represent in my next speech titled Social Detox. These 2 numbers are 5 and 2020. Now let's go and try to walk a mile in someone else's headlines.